Alright, so how you doing, everybody? You already know who it is. It's your boy BT. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. Andre Ward, really shook up the boxing landscape for the next 3 to 4 years. If you don't know already, he signed with Rock Nation Sports and Jay-Z. Um, and that's big because Jay-Z obviously trying to make his mark on the boxing world. He's put together a really good promotional team. You pretty much know that anything Jay-Z decides to do, he's gonna do it the right way. Being if it's a business venture, this is really is no different with Andre Ward. Uh, you know, Obviously in the sport right now, you have Al Heyman. You have Al Heyman, who obviously controls a lot of things. He controls, Mayweather. He handles Mayweather. And when you control the number one pound for pound fighter slash, attraction, the guy that when people even say the word boxing these days, think about Floyd Mayweather. That gives you a lot of power, leverage, and I think that's why he's been able to, pretty much have such as a big stable of fighters. But when you see Jay-Z, a guy who is just breaking into the sport with Rock Nation, and he lands a guy like a top tier pound for pound fighter like Andre Ward. That's huge because you gotta look at it like this, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to explain this as well as my man Anthony from Thunderdome Boxing Talk does. Shout out to him, by the way. If you haven't already, before I continue to talk, if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to Thunderdome Boxing Talk. Anthony, he brings a lot of great boxing analysis to the table. And if there's things that you don't know about the sport, or if you want clear, concise perspective, go to Thunderdome Boxing Talk. Type it in the search bar. Click on any one of his videos and just subscribe to him. You'll get your money's worth, and you'll become a better boxing fan because of it. But like I was saying, man, Andre Ward is obviously a top tier pound for pound fighter. Um, Attraction wise, name wise, brand wise, his level of inactivity, his lack of activity at times has really hurt his relevancy. Like he's a great fighter. The boxing world knows who he is, but for him, he hasn't quite become that crossover star because he hasn't been as active. I feel he has been marketed a certain way, and I think with this move, Jay-Z's always been great at branding and marketing is anything, and I think with boxing, he's got the right people around him, and I think with Andre Ward, that's gonna from a attention standpoint, it's gonna take his career to the next level. Um, you know, he said he wanted to fight Gennady Golovkin. That'd be huge for him too. But this is huge for the landscape of boxing because you have Al Heyman who Al Heyman, Bob Arum. Those are the guys that traditionally over the last few however long have controlled the sport. Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather. They have good stable of fighters. Timothy Bradley, Keith Thurman, Amir Khan, whatever. Whoever you can name, those two guys usually have them under their umbrella of fighters. With this now, Jay-Z has become a power player in the boxing world. Andre Ward is a top-tier talent, and when he fights from now on, especially now, people are going to have to tune in to come see him because he's an exciting fighter. He's going to have great promotion around him now, and it might even help the reduction in his activity. So I think with Andre Ward going there, once Floyd retires, Ward is going to become the preeminent, top 3 pound for pound fighter. He's already the super middleweight champion. He could be the best fighter, the number 1 pound for pound fighter in boxing. And if that happens, then what you're going to see is Heyman's going to lose a lot of power, like Anthony explained. Heyman's going to lose a lot of power in the sport. You might see, Thurman leave or Khan leave or whoever. You're going to see guys start jumping ship to go with Rock Nation because they pay above market value. I know, like they'll pay above market value. They'll give the fighters more than they're worth. So, like if great example would be Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner got offered a contract, $40 million, over 5 years. I think for was like 10 fights, I believe. So $4 million every fight. And he turned it down. He said he told Jay-Z to suck his dick, which I don't get. It was a good offer. I think he gave him double what his market, more than double what his market value was. But Broner, decided not to take that contract and just shot himself in the foot. So, with with this move, it really does a lot because you're not giving the power to just Haymon and Aram, and which really is the reason we're in this predicament in the first place, and not getting the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. We wanted that fight for so long, and the fact that Andre Ward now is with a guy like Jay-Z who doesn't just have like crazy, who doesn't just have influence within the boxing world. Now he has influence, period. Music industry, fashion, a bunch of things. Jay-Z's reach in terms of brand building is far beyond boxing, and I think with Andre Ward, his sky's the limit for what he can become as a fighter in and out the ring with the Rock Nation. I'm not a fan of Aram and Haymon controlling the fight, the sport of boxing. I think there should be more promotional teams, and with Rock Nation Sports, there is now, and I think that's a great thing because now it's better because fighters are getting taken care of. We're gonna get the fights we want to see, and I think I legitimately believe that Jay-Z's best interest is in the guys he signs. Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be offering them this kind of money. He wouldn't make them take these courses on how to manage their money after they're done fighting, which he's looking out for them. And in a sport like boxing, which I know one person that's in the business. In a sport like boxing, it's a corrupt game, and it's not like any other line of work or any business in the world. It's really an ass backwards mentality of doing business, and nobody looks out for nobody. So the fact that there's a guy like Jay-Z looking out for his fighters, seems to have the best interest of his fighters and all that good stuff, I think it can only do a lot for the landscape of the sport. Al Haymon at best might be the third most influential promoter of the game, and I think that's the best. That's that for the interest and the well-being of boxing. I think that's the best thing because he's controlled it for so long. We're not getting the fights we want to see. He had his chance to show us the fans that maybe he was serious about giving us what we want, but Jay's got this thing going in the right direction. Ward, he's been on a 14-month layoff, but whatever. The fighters, if they want to get out of their contracts with Al Haymon, they'll have to give him his 15% still. But Jay-Z, he had a feud with Al Haymon because of some stuff that Al Haymon did with Beyonce, who's obviously Jay-Z's wife. He could pay that 15%. Jay's got money. Jay's got oil well money. He's got money for days. Okay, so money's not really an issue for Jay-Z. So if fighters that are under the Al Haymon umbrella, if they want to get out of their contracts, and it'd be great because they could work something out to where they don't have to pay that 50%, and Jay can cover that because Jay's got the money to cover that. Jay's got money for days, and so it's big. It's big for the sport of boxing, and you might not necessarily see how big it is at this moment. But like other people on other channels like Thunder No Boxing Talk and I think T Street Controversy did some videos on it. A lot of people have broken it down already, so I'm just kind of piggybacking off of what they're saying and kind of adding how I feel. But yeah, it's huge for the sport of boxing, man. I think it's gonna be great. I think Jay-Z, and I don't want to put titles on anybody, especially when it's such a positive thing, but I feel like in a way he's, from a promotional side and from making the sport better and getting us the fights we want, I feel like he's the savior of boxing. Aram don't want to give us the fights we want. Haymon definitely doesn't want to give us the fights we want. So and Klitschko doesn't want to give us the fights we want. The K1, they don't, or K2, whatever the hell they are. They don't want to give us fights we want. So, there's a new voice in boxing. There's a new brand in boxing. There's a new promotional team in boxing. And I think that's a breath of fresh air for us boxing fans. There's another outlet there. So, Let me know what you guys think. How big is the signing of Andre Ward to Rock Nation Sports? Leave your comments down below, and I'll be sure to check all those out and respond. Take care, guys.